What's up, everyone? Welcome into a new guide for Anno 1800. Well, it's a new guide for older content. This is going to be a guide for the Passage DLC and the Arctic. Even at this point, long after the Passage DLC has been released, I still see so many people struggling to get the Arctic up and running. They find it very difficult, very challenging. And to me, the Arctic is one of the easier regions to deal with. I find it just as easy as maybe, say, like in Bessa, which is just a joke of how easy that region is to get set up and running and to maintain. So in this guide, we're going to break down the things that I think you need to consider when you get to the Arctic, things you need to do to succeed in the Arctic, layouts, things about workforce, what goods you should and should not be supplying to your people, and how to get those pesky plateaus going. So with that, let's dive right on in. So when you first get to the region and you have unlocked King William Island to be built on, first thing you're going to have to be doing is getting heaters up and running for your people. Heaters, of course, need coal, and that is your first decision-making part right there. Are you going to produce coal locally, or are you going to ship it in from another region like Old World or Cape Trelawney? Although I would not bring it from Cape Trelawney, too long of a transit time. Once you've decided how you want to bring coal in, there's really no right or wrong way to do the coal. If you produce it locally, of course, it's just going to take up space and it's going to take up workforce. If you ship it in from another region, it just means more trade routes. I personally like to just bring it in from the Old World. It's just a little bit easier. I can get more coal over there, and I don't have to worry about the workforce as much. The Arctic is really workforce intensive, and you want to try to minimize as much as you can so you don't have to be supplying so many goods to your people. So I prefer to bring it in from the Old World. You do whichever works best for you. The other thing you need to make sure that you already have going is brass. Again, either produce the brass in the Old World or import it from Docklands and ship it up here. You're going to need brass for oil lamps, so you might as well go ahead and get that started. The other thing I like to do is have a cargo ship that is buying goods from the Inuit. As you can see right here, we'll take a look at my AI routes, and I have a ship that is currently buying the whale oil, caribou meat, and pemmican. The reason I do this is, again, it's that workforce thing. Me buying all of those goods from the Inuit means that's less workforce. I have to have fewer buildings I need. So I end up buying all 6 goods that the Inuit supplies. Eventually, you'll be able to purchase, of course, whale oil, caribou meat, pemmicans, seal skins, bear fur, and huskies. I end up buying all of those goods right there. It is a little expensive. It can get a little expensive, so make sure you have a good, steady income. Now, we will be selling some goods back to the Inuit to make up some of those costs, so, you know, it will balance itself out a little bit, but make sure you have a good income and a healthy amount of money to start buying all of that. Make sure you're also bringing over steel and caoutchouc on another ship. And that is steel, not steel beams. Make sure you're bringing steel, the bars of steel, and caoutchouc. We're going to be needing those for items later. And then also bring the goods that you're going to need for your airship hangar, okay? The airship hangar is going to require 80 timber, 60 steel beams, 30 concrete, 40 reinforced concrete, or it's 30 cement. I'm sorry, 30 cement, you know, what the thing you get from the mine itself, the raw resource. 40 reinforced concrete, 20 windows, 10 steam motors, and 50 sails. Now, I would bring over quite a bit more sails and steam motors because those are what you actually use to build the airships. Those are the things you need to either think about or make sure that you already have ready to go so you don't have to be sitting around waiting for anything. The last thing you need to do is go grab all of the islands. As you can see, I've already settled every single island in the Arctic. All of these places are mine. The AI, now this is single player only, mind you. The AI is restricted from settling in the Arctic until the player has built their first airship, okay? So the AI will not come to the region until you build your first airship. This does not apply to multiplayer, so if you're playing co-op, then ignore that part. The AI is going to go there whenever they want. But in single player, you have plenty of time to settle all the islands. You need a grand total of 44 influence. That's it. These islands are relatively cheap. That includes King William Island. King William Island does cost influence. It costs 9 influence to settle King William Island. All of these other islands, minus the plateaus. Plateaus are not included in that. But all of the other islands in the Arctic cost a total of 44 influence. So when you have 44 free influence, go grab all of the islands. But do it before you build your first airship. That way the AI will never come to the region. All right, once you have all of that done and you have made your decisions on how to deal with, coal, and you have your brass coming in already, go ahead and just get that stuff up and running. Don't wait, get it going. You have all your building materials ready and set. Then you're ready to start laying out King William Island. Now, if you feel comfortable about making your own layouts based on the heaters, all of your layouts are based on your heaters and the range of the heating on them. If you feel comfortable doing your own layouts, go for it, make your own layout, not a big deal. But if you're not, do check out the wiki. There's a link in the description down below to the wiki page for Arctic layouts. Just grab any of those from there. Most of them work. There's actually a really nice King William Island layout that looks absolutely phenomenal, and it works perfect. So again, if you're not comfortable doing your own layout, just use one. But you need to use a good, efficient layout for the Arctic because space is crucial here because of the heaters. You want to use as few of these guys as possible, okay? And going along with that, you don't want to overbuild in the Arctic. You don't need tons of extra workforce sitting around. Obviously, when you're first building everything up, you're going to have extra workforce because we're trying to get to the numbers that we need to unlock things like the oil lamps or the pemmicans. So you're going to have excess workforce. But eventually, you want to try and have as little excess workforce as possible. If you need to destroy homes, go ahead and destroy homes. Don't worry about it. These guys make you absolutely no money. The Arctic is a gold sink. That's all it is. Don't worry about trying to maximize population in the Arctic unless you're doing a record building for population and you want that population for some reason. Other than that, you want to try to have as close to a zero balance workforce as possible for everything except technicians, because you do need excess technicians to make the airship hangar work. So try not to overbuild as you're expanding and only build as needed, okay? So with that, I'm going to fast forward time a little bit, and we're going to get ourselves up to the point of having oil lamps going, and then we're going to get into technicians and start talking about the airship hangar and the plateaus. So I'll see you guys after a little time jump. All right, so as you can see, we've done a little expansion. I've added a new little area right up here. Now, you might notice my layout, how I'm doing it. I tend to put everything kind of in a line. My heater and my canteen are always together. And then I put the houses around them, and they end up going like in a little pokeball kind of pattern going out from them. And to me, that just gets the best use of the space and everything. And I leave room for factories and stuff. You don't need many production buildings around here, but I leave space for a few. And then I stick warehouses kind of off onto the edges. Warehouses do not need to be heated, so you can put them anywhere. And then, of course, I have plenty of ranger stations, usually 2 ranger stations for every little area right here. Now, this gets into some of the more advanced stuff about the Arctic and what I want to talk about. And the first thing I want to talk about are heating goods, okay? Heating goods, to me, at least in my humble opinion, are the most useless thing ever. I do not supply heating goods to my people. Maybe schnapps if I'm feeling super generous that day and I want to import a little bit of schnapps for the people. Other than that, I do not waste time supplying these goods. The sleeping bags and the parkas, for especially, you need a lot of those. They have a very low production rate and a very high consumption rate for what they provide, and you need a lot of them. And it's a lot of workforce. You need 50 for the sleeping bag factory. Then you're going to need 2 goose farms. That's another 70. And then you're going to need 1 of these right here. So 20. So that is what, 120 and 140 just for a sleeping bag factory setup. And you'll need multiple of these things. It's a lot of workforce, and I really don't see the point in it. It doesn't really give you much money. It gives you a little bit, but it's not really a big deal. Now, of course, the big thing that it gives you is heat, which tries to help combat the Arctic flu chance. But honestly, guys, Arctic flu chance is not that big of a deal. The Arctic flu is such a minor thing. Plop you down a couple of extra ranger stations and you'll be fine. If you do get the Arctic flu, it typically lasts no more than about 20 or 30 seconds on triple speed, and it's done and over, and that's it. You're done. You've dealt with the Arctic flu. It's over. You don't have to worry about it anymore, and you've saved your people. Boom, done. And I saved myself a lot of headache and time having to put in more and more production buildings. Now, of course, if you like having production buildings and you like supplying all of your needs, do that. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just giving my opinion on what I think is the best way to do it. And for me, that is not supplying heating goods to my people. But again, if you like supplying goods to like all of the products to your people and you like having everything in the game, go for that. It's fine. It's not a big deal. You just are going to need more population than what I will for what I'm going to do. So now that we have our technicians up and running, we have a post office right here, getting them all of their postal needs dealt with. And so now I need to get up and unlock canned food and huskies. I do already have the quest to build. I keep moving the screen around. Sorry about that, guys. I do have the quest already to build the airship hangar foundations, so we can get that started. Let's see. We're going to put it. Yeah, we're going to put it right here. That looks like a nice place for it. Put it right there. Again, go ahead and grab. Oh, I'm out of timber. Yeah, I'm out of timber. That's fine. We'll get some more timber here in just a second. I have a ship coming in with timber. I normally only build a single sawmill and lumberjack hut. I normally don't build more than that. Just because I can bring in 300 tons of timber pretty quickly from the old world as opposed to how slow it is to produce up here. So I prefer just to bring it in from the old world. So gonna do a quick time jump while I wait for the ship to come in with the timber, and then we will get started on the next part. All right, so it's been about, I don't know, it's been only about 10 minutes or so. We're just now building the, finishing up the airship hangar foundation. So it hasn't been too awful long, but I've already upgraded all of my technicians with a little help from our friendly neighborhood cargo ship full of timber, which I'm going to go get a little bit more from. But we have upgraded all of our technicians, and we've already hit 750 technicians and unlocked all of the goods here on King William Island. Now let's see. Yeah, here we go. Still only with one pemmican chain and one oil lamps chain. The pemmicans and oil lamps, they can supply a lot of people. So you don't really need to worry about building lots of them. I have one of each, and it's supplying everything that I need. Now, newspaper effects do not apply to the Arctic. So while I am actually running a newspaper with 50% reduction in consumption of goods, if I can get the word out, it doesn't apply to these guys because the newspaper doesn't work here. So yeah, already up to 782 technicians right now, which is exactly what you need to finish the hangar. And all in this little space right here, I have 3 heaters, one over here handling our 1 caribou hunting station, as well as our 1 lumberjack, and 2 for the town right here. And that's it. That's all it took me. It is very, very easy. We are importing canned goods. You don't need many. I'm bringing in I think 50 on my cargo ship. I believe that's what I'm bringing in. Yeah, I'm just bringing in 50. So 200 tons of coal, 50 brass, and 50 canned food. And that is all that my little people over here need. Yeah, see, barely even being used. Barely being used. I'm going to fill up on it here pretty soon as well. So it's really, really easy. It's not as difficult as some people make it out to be. You don't need a lot of stuff here. And as you can see, I have an excess of 20 workforce explorer workforce, and that's perfect. The 784 will get adjusted here shortly because we are going to go ahead and get Huskies put in. And before I do that, I want to go to our AI trade routes. I want to go ahead and buy up everything else. Actually, no, I'm just going to go buy up the Huskies. Yeah, because I'm not going to use seal skins or bear fur, so we're just going to go buy the Huskies for right now. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy them. I'm gonna flex that I have so much money. We're gonna buy seal skins, Huskies, and bear fur. And we're gonna go ahead and get our Husky sleds going. Now, of course, I'm already doing Huskies. Oh, I need seal skins. So perfect. I don't need Huskies because I'm already making those, or I'm buying them. I'm not. Well, I guess you can make Huskies, but I'm buying those already. So we're gonna go and get the last little bit of stuff right here. Now, it's a 1-to-1 ratio, sled frame to Husky sleds. So we're going to get one of those in. And yeah, it's not going to fit right there, but it will fit perfectly right there. And I just need one more thing of timber over here. You can squeeze him right there, and it'll be good. And I want to drag this out this way a little bit and toss down a warehouse right there. So there we go. That's going to be the Huskies for all of our people, and their technicians will have all of their needs fulfilled, except of course for heating goods, which I forgot I had coffee up here for some reason. You know, we'll let them go through the coffee. I don't care. I forgot I had coffee in the warehouse. Ignore that. All right, so with all of that done and the airship hangar being quickly constructed, let's go ahead and get the last little bit right here on the next phase done. We're ready to start thinking about plateaus. Now, here's what I do for the plateaus. For the plateaus, I do 1 island per plateau. And what I mean by 1 island per plateau is in the Arctic, you have 4 of these reasonably okay size, I guess they're called like medium size islands. There's always 4 of them. I have currently Sniftallure, Fort Snowshoe, of course, King William Island, and over here at Caribou Station. I dedicate each of these islands to a plateau. All right, each island to support 1 plateau because you have 4 plateaus. So I don't try to do everything on King William Island. I see a lot of people do that. They try to do everything on King William Island, but you don't need to. You can set up 1 island to support 1 plateau. Let's do a quick time jump and let's get this island set up to what it's going to need in order to support a plateau. All right, guys, and we are back after a short time jump, and we have what I call my support islands done. Now, the way I do the support islands is I dedicate the closest island to the plateau that I'm going to want to develop. So this island right here in this corner of the map, I use to support this island right here. This is the island that I like to go for first. The reason being, it's the most compact. It has most of the refineries for the gas right around where you're going to be building, okay? So when I do my little support islands, I set them up to have at least be able to have 2 pemmicans, 2 pemmican cookhouses. A single pemmican cookhouse not boosted. Now you can use Arctic lodges to modify all of this and to reduce things however you want to do. So, you know, if you want to do Arctic lodge stuff with them, that's on you. You can figure it out from there. But without Arctic lodges, 1 pemmican cookhouse can support up to 833 technicians. We're not worrying about the explorers on it, okay? We're worrying about technicians. It can support up to 833 technicians. So you need 1,000 technicians per plateau. So it's 250 technicians per gas refinery. So it's 1,000 total technicians. So we need 2 pemmican cookhouses. And then I also get all of my coal here. I do transport coal locally from an island to the plateau. I don't import the coal from the old world for the plateaus. I do produce that locally on my support islands. So your support island needs to have at least 2 pemmican cookhouse chains and 2 to 3, maybe 4 charcoal kilns going. So, and that is going to be what it does. So I'm going to end up having an airship coming here to pick up 2 loads of coal, 2 loads of pemmican, and take it back up here. Now, when it comes to the oil lamps are a completely different animal. One oil lamp factory, well, 2 oil lamp factories rather, 2 oil lamp factories can support up to 3,333 technicians. Okay, so if you divide that down by 1, that's 1,666. So you can support like 1.5 islands, roughly 1.5 islands with a single oil lamp. Now we have 4 islands right here, so I'm going to end up having like 4 oil lamp factories, and I will make all of that local. Okay, I will have all of the oil lamps made here on King William Island, and I'll end up having a trade route going from King William Island to each of the plateaus, and we'll do a pickup and drop off of the oil lamps, and I'll show you how that's done here in a bit once we do another time jump and get ahead to that part. Let's go ahead and get this guy almost done. Start the roof phase of this guy, and he's good to go. So he's going to go pick up the last bit of goods, which is the steam motors, the sails, and the windows, and he's going to be off and running. All right, so we've got our support island ready. We've got the airship hangar almost done. We have everything almost ready to hit up the plateau. So what I'm going to do is do another quick time jump. We're going to flash forward ahead to where I have found Sir John, and we are ready to settle our first plateau. So let's get that going, and we will take a look at the big part, which is getting the gas plateaus set up. So I will see you guys in just a moment. All right, fun part has begun, and we have claimed our first plateau over here. So we have claimed, again, the one that I consider the best one to start off with because it is the most compact. So when you claim the first plateau and you're ready to get started, the big thing here is, again, your layout. Layout is absolutely crucial. We're going to move him around just slightly for a minute so we can take a look and see what we want to do. Whenever I start laying out my plateaus, the first thing I do is look at an Arctic Lodge, and I get an idea of where I can fit an Arctic Lodge in to make the best use of 2 gas mines. Okay, and it's looking like right about in here possibly. Let's toss one down right there. Let's get you back. Actually, let's load him up with some more timber real quick, speed things up. I do like bringing over an extra ship full of building materials, so I have plenty. All right, so we want to try to get this as close as humanly possible. So I can get one right here. Make sure we turn him off. And yep, that reaches. Good. That reach? Yep, perfect. Okay, so I was able to get both of those within range, exactly like I wanted. And now I can move this guy around and make sure that I have them still covered. There we go. So the reason that I do it this way right here is because I want to have as many of the gas mines covered by an Arctic Lodge as possible, and also leave enough room for plenty of housing. So I can still get an Arctic Lodge up here, and I can still get an Arctic Lodge, of course, down here for those 4. Now, there is some like advanced stuff with clipping you can do, so you would actually move these around. If you're interested about the clipping stuff, I'll have a link to it down in the description. This right here is clipping, basically, is all it is. You can see that now this guy right here, you can faintly see the light blue outline. If I can get him back. Yeah, right there. You can see that he's now being covered by both Arctic Lodges, so he would actually benefit from items in both of those lodges right there. Again, it's a bit more of an advanced tactic to do that because you have to do a lot of finagling with your layouts. But I'm not going to get into it. This is just going to be a simple, easy to do method. All right, so with that, let's fast forward and let's get a layout going, and we'll take a look and see what I've done. All right, so we've got everything built and ready to go. So let's talk about what we've done here. Again, I have my sort of semi-spherical layout, getting as many houses as I possibly can within the range of the Arctic Lodge. So in the Arctic Lodge, we will be crafting 3 items for it. We pop down here to Old Nate's Airship. We're going to get the radiator. This is going to help us get more workforce out of our homes, so we need fewer of them. We're going to get the outdoorsy grill, which, and this also reduces Arctic flu chance. The outdoorsy grill further reduces Arctic flu chance and reduces consumption of pemmicans, which, that's just a handy little bonus. And we're going to get the gritty gas extractor, which is going to increase the production from our gas mines and give us zinc and copper. Now, you could trade out the outdoorsy grill for the music box if you wanted to. If you want more gas, change out the outdoorsy grill for the music box. You'll have a few more flu outbreaks, but like we talked about earlier, not a big deal. And, you won't have any pemmican consumption reduction, but, that's kind of a whatever as well. So if you want or need more gas, do the music box. The music box and the gritty gas extractor are the only 2 items that affect gas mines, so just be aware of that. Do not replace the radiator, though. It is way too important for what we're going to be doing. All right, so that's what's going to happen with that Arctic Lodge right there. In terms of ranger stations, we have 2 around each of our gas mines right here. That's just going to help keep the explosion chance down once we have them up and running. Ideally, you want like 3 or 4, but I was only able to get 2. Around these over here, though, I'll be able to get quite a few more. Now, you're probably asking, what's this mess right here about? Well, a perfectly set up gas plateau needs about 53 technician homes when you're using the radiator item. Anywhere from 52 to 55, depending on how many houses you can get within inside the range of the Arctic Lodge. But 52 to 55, and that's without supplying canned goods, because I will not do canned goods to the Arctic Plateaus. I only do canned goods to King William Island. These guys will not get canned goods. If you do supply them canned goods, you need about 40 to 45 homes. Okay, so that right there is, I think this is 52 homes right here. So I might have to add another one in here and there, but we'll have to see. This down here is to get us unlocked with the oil lamps. If you supply canteen and pemmicans, you get 7 inhabitants each, and you need 500 to unlock. You need a 500 total to unlock oil lamps. So you need about 72 homes. So that right there got us to where the oil lamps was unlocked. So that's what that one right there is for. And hey, look, Arctic flu took hold. It's because I didn't build any Arctic Ranger stations down here. I'll build one just for the moment. We'll disable them later. So that's it. That is all you have to do to set the plateau. This plateau is essentially done. All I've got to do now is supply it with goods. So I have built another airship, Zahalabut. So what we're going to do is I want to first get the oil lamps coming in. So this is actually going to be our oil lamp route. We're going to go to him. We're going to find our oil lamps. Actually, before I do that, let's set a minimum stock on our oil lamps. Let's just say we'll set a minimum stock at 50. Okay, so we're going to go from King William Island up here to Wolf Creek. And you are the oil lamp guy. Going under our Arctic routes and get yourself going. So we take a look at our production between here and, what was it, Wolf Creek? Yeah, Wolf Creek. You can see that we are producing more than enough oil lamps that we need to supply them. Oil lamps do produce kind of slow. They are kind of slow to produce at 1 minute, so that's why it seems like I don't have many. But your people do not consume a lot of oil lamps. So this will be perfectly fine. I did bring up pemmicans and stuff manually from this ship right here. Which is going to be which I'm probably going to do it manually for a little while because I need this ship to go look for Arctic scrap. So once we have the oil lamps going, we'll be able to jump up quickly to the next part. Let's go ahead and go get some more timber. Should be more than enough. We'll bring you up here. and bring you back over. All right, so I'm going to do a quick cut, and then we will come back when we have the technicians up and running, and we will take it from there, and I'll show you how to finish off your Arctic region. All right, guys, and we are coming up on the end of how to deal with these plateaus right here. We have all of our technicians upgraded. They have everything again except canned food. Again, no heating goods, which that's what we're wanting to do. And we are at 1,135 technicians. I needed to upgrade a few over here because all of these technicians right here was just not enough to get the Husky sleds unlocked. So I upgraded a few of these. However, you see that we're at 1,135 technicians, which is way more than we need. So we can now get rid of all of those. Perfect. We don't have any more explorers left. Get rid of that one. That one. And I can get rid of him. And then I can move him up here around all of this. I just got to find a spot that's got some heat available to it, which, ooh, do I have any places with heat available to it here? Okay, so we've got our other guy squeezed in right up here, and that gave us right at 1,000 technicians. Perfection. We can get rid of some of these excess buildings down here. We can move him over to here, or we'll actually move him right there, because I am going to want some ranger stations around there. We'll get rid of all of this. And that's it. There's 1,000 technicians exactly. All we need to get our gas mines up and running. There we go. Just need a little bit more, it looks like. Our oil lamp guy, we'll use him to bring a little more timber up there so we can get this other set of gas mines going. And that's going to be enough gas for one gas power plant. And that is it. That's all you have to do. Very simple. Very, very simple. I've got all of this set up right here. If we take a look at our productions here, from Wolf Creek over to Fort Snowshoe, we are actually way overproducing on pemmicans right now, which is actually kind of surprising. But I am way overproducing on the... Oh, well, no, I don't have the outdoorsy grill. Yeah, overproducing on the pemmicans right now. So I could technically take that trade route right there with the pemmicans and do another island of that and have him go to a second island. Now, if you were to want to... Now, I'm not going to go set up another island to show it, but I will show it in the trade route menu and how it works. If you wanted to say go to another island, let's pause him. We'll say that Quinnock right here is another gas plateau. If we were wanting to do double routes, what we would do is we would go to Quinnock first, and we would tell Quinnock that I wanted to keep a minimum of, let's just say, 20. Okay, a minimum stock of 20. And a minimum stock of 20. That's all that it needs right there. It's just the 20, okay? We'd go back into our trade route. We would add Quinnock in. We would tell it to unload the all of the goods. Tell it to unload everything, okay? That's key. Unload everything. And then pick it all right back up. So now it's going to unload the maximum amount in the storage. And then it's going to pick up everything over what I have it set as the minimum stock, okay? When it does that, it's going to just then go to the next one and unload. You can theoretically do a huge chain of these pickup and drop-offs like this. So if I wanted to use Fort Snowshoe to, say, supply Chukchi Island up here as well with pemmicans and coal, then I could go up there and do the same thing and set it up just like that, okay? It's a really simple method to do, so that is something you could think about doing as well. I will do the exact same thing with our oil lamps, because this oil lamp route is going to go to all the islands, and I'm actually going to end up having it go to Seal Inlet first and work its way around, and then come back down. And it's just going to keep picking up and dropping off every amount. To figure out how much you need, all you do is go under the storage tab of your statistics screen, you're going to look at trade routes and see how long it takes for the trade route to get there. So I'm looking at 3 minutes. That's like a 2 minute right there. Wind must have been with me. But roughly about a 3 minute time frame, and you go under your production and you see how much you need. I can see right here that I technically need 0 per minute because it's just weird like that. But you always just round that up to 1. So I need like, in 3 minutes, I need like 2 or 3. Like 2 or 3. That's it. That's all it takes. It's a really easy calculation to come up with. So if I set I usually double it. So if I set my minimum stock to like 10, it would always have more than enough. The only thing you really have to do now is just rinse and repeat, and just keep expanding your little supply islands, and just keep adding oil lamps and huskies here on King William Island until you have all that you need to supply the islands. You'll end up with about 4 oil lamp factories and somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 to 5 husky sleds to supply all of the gas plateaus. So it's a really easy setup. I hope this helped. If you still have more questions, let me know down in the comments and I'll see what I can do to help you, or hop over onto our Discord server and we can talk about it there as well. So with that, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.